Welcome to TradeTheNBI.com. This is John's reports for the third. I don't want to say the usual, like we weren't surprised, but yes, we moved back up, and that was because Magento was leading. It's fading off a little bit starting off, but that's not a finished set. We do have that crossover of DOC here of green above cyan, so now you have midterm buyers already in the lead, and we've got the continuation of shakeout. Histogram rising, so that's a continuation from a bull standpoint. Didn't quite get the dip of cyan under red, which would be always a buy, but we're real close there. You're right at that stage of new fund money coming into the setup, and that would be the marker to push things to the upside, break past this 100% towards the overall highs. From an NQ standpoint, very similar, a little bit stronger from a short standpoint at that particular stage, but you do have the cyan under red. So you see a slight difference between the NASDAQ and the S&P, and that's enough to support the S&P at this particular stage. Keep an eye out, though, during the day whether or not we get a cross below the 25 level for Magenta, the 27 plus from a NASDAQ standpoint, so still holding on. Plenty of range within there. Of course, Treasury still back and forth. Everyone was very concerned about the whole Ukraine attacking the strategic bomber thing, and I think that created a little bit of dissent. But when nothing happened, everyone was like, okay, maybe it's not so bad because oil spiked on that news and fading off a little bit. Still no question they're going to do some form of retaliation. The question is the escalation and whether or not it be muted versus broadening, because it gets into a dangerous area. And I know they were trying to suggest that the U.S. knew and things like that, just to create conflict and drama within that. And I think that world dynamic is problematic. So of course, continuation from a euro standpoint, they just love the excitement that the U.S. With tariffs and everything is in trouble, and of course, you got Trump talking about the court cases as it relates to tariffs, and if those are not allowed to be adjusted, then who's really running things. So it becomes a real issue as to where things will go. And of course, that excitement for gold on the whole uncertainty still exists, but fading off just a little bit from where it was before. So Bitcoin holding on to that 76, got a complete reset, but now you have white leading. So any move down towards that 76 not likely to hold if there's any more downside pressure from it. So it's something to keep note on. You're not seeing the same thing from ETH. So a little bit of a bifurcation between the two, ETH being stronger on that. It's still maintaining its cyan under red, so still holding its buy configuration at this particular stage. From the 50K standpoint, took the buy right there at the inside, but then you ended up with NBI white spike, but Magenta still over. So that was a short cover rally. But as soon as it ended, you get the fill back. And taking us right to the 50%, but you're getting a full reset intraday within that setup. Key would be to watch DOC orange here. A move straight down would be your turnaround setup, and it needs to come right around that 50% because at this particular stage, if MBI white crosses it, you're looking at a move down towards the 0%, and that's a pretty decent sized move, hitting all the way into the 58 range there. So you're at a precipice point, but right at the stage where they want to do a little trickery before the new fund money starts to have to be spent somewhere. And you can see from an intraday, pretty early on from the pre-market dip, popped back up, and it was just all the way up from there. And then most of the post-market here has just been filling all that back in just to take away any of the pressures. And you can see starting to build up here prior to the U.S. Open. So basic long and short of things at this particular stage. As always, though anything relevant, I'll put it on our team chat. Have a good one. Trade well.